Thanks, Dan. In case you missed it, but we are in an era of digital disruption. And to many young people and industry futurists, this is a runaway train that won't be stopped. So what exactly is it? What industries/businesses are most under the pump? And what does it mean for employees and consumers? Nick Abrahams is the author of Digital Disruption in Australia. He joins me at the desk. Nick, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Peter.
We keep hearing about digital disruption. I guess the big ones we hear about, like Uber and Airbnb, and they're using a digital connection to grow their business. But give us the definition of digital disruption.
Yeah, I think the way to think of it is where you've got technology enabling new entrants to come into a market and actually take away market share from the existing players.
Yeah.
And so Uber and Airbnb are the poster child for that. But even there's a dramatic slump in the live music industry in Australia, which has been put down to hookup apps like Tinder and Grindr.
So why would that kill live music?
Well, I think what they're saying is that people would rather just go to their phones and swipe left or swipe right to find love than go and listen to a band in a smoky bar for 3 hours.
Yeah, let's use the old term, we used to call them meat markets, didn't we?
Oh, dear Lord. Okay. Yeah, so...
Well, nasty people did. But people used to meet in those sorts of places, and now they're meeting on websites. Yeah.
So love has been disrupted.
So live music's been badly affected by it. Isn't that interesting? So how profound is this disruption going to be? Because we're learning this on a daily basis. There's been a bit of pushback. Some state councils are fighting, state governments are fighting Uber. But is it a runaway train?
Yeah, it's enormous. It's really a complete game changer. And we're starting to see it really come through. For example, in simple things like school textbooks, the distributors of school textbooks. So 8 of those have gone under in the last 2 years. So it's more than 50% because the publishers of school textbooks are going direct to the schools and offering the textbooks online direct to the schools. And then if you look at things like 56% of Australian CIOs say that their businesses have been disrupted, and that's 20% more than the global average.
And I guess these are the ones that have been disrupted now, but there are future businesses. I know there's a lot of hard work being done to try and create alternatives to financial planning online, which of course the banks will be worried about that.
Yeah.
At the moment, ASIC regulations makes it a little bit hard, but still they could at least take some cream off the top. And it's like the thin end of the wedge with a lot of this stuff, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, financial services is absolutely in the gun. In fact, many of your guests will be severely impacted, I think. Things like robo-advice, which is a big issue, which is now sort of where the machine will tell you, what the makeup of your portfolio should be. And there's already players
Can these machines be arrested when they give bad advice like normal people can be?
Well, unfortunately not. So, and that's what obviously ASIC is, looking at.
But that's the real big challenge, isn't it? That, once upon a time, if Peter Switzer got himself a nice car and put a taxi sign on top, I'd be arrested.
Yeah.
I wasn't regulated, I wasn't insured properly, all those sort of things. But along comes a digital company, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, that's okay, that's all right.
Yeah. The critical thing is user experience. User experience will trump everything. And Uber is a classic example. The Uber experience is brilliant. And so consequently...
All Uber, like Uber Black versus Uber X?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I mean, well, you know who's picking you up. You can see who's picking you up. You rate them, they rate you. There's real accountability. And so that user experience is very positive. And so if you look at what's happened in the US, where regulators have said, no, Uber's not good, we've got to protect the taxi industry, the people have risen up and said, no, we love Uber. And so consequently the politicians are going to follow the will of the people.
The problem I see with this, and I wrote about this on my website today, the thing is we love the consumer impact, lower prices, a better experience, in a car that's well kept by maybe an accountant who works between 6 in the morning and 8 before he goes to work. But what happens to the people who are employed? Like Airbnb, takes away a lot of demand for Hilton hotels and Hyatts and that sort of stuff, who employ low-skilled workers. So in a way, digital disruption is taking on low-skilled jobs and low-paid people.
Yeah, I think that is true to a certain extent, but I think what we're going to see is that the workforce will need to change and reskill. And so if you look at PwC have said that 5 million jobs are at risk of being automated in Australia.
In Australia, 5 million.
So
our workforce is only about 14.
That's right. And they've actually said that accountants will be 100% automated. What they do today, 100% gone within 20 years. So no one is safe. So you're absolutely right.
The pubs will go broke if there's no accountants.
think of what's going to happen to the restaurants in town.
So your argument is, and it's by implication because you haven't said it, but you're basically saying, okay, the people who no longer work at the hotels will have to become baristas because people still will go to, you won't be drinking your coffee online. So there'll be more people, I'm saving money on my taxi, I've got more money to go out to a restaurant. So there's going to be that sort of shift. But in the in-between period, there's going to be dislocation.
There will be dislocation. And I think that's certainly what government is thinking a lot about. And, there will be other jobs created, and it's a matter of how do we train. The people we've really got to think about are those that are coming through universities right at the moment. In my world of law, we've got 26,000 law students already enrolled, and there's only about 40,000 lawyers currently practicing in Australia. There will not be the jobs for them as a result of disruption.
Do you think digital disruption will take away a lot of legal work?
Yeah, no, legal work is definitely going to be impacted.
Because those standard questions will be answered and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's already players in the market. There's LawPath, which is an online legal disruptor, which is able to help people with, relatively standard legal issues. So, no one is immune. Yeah.
There was an old saying, when motivated in a movie, stop the world, I want to get off. There's going to be a lot of people who'll be thinking that right now, particularly if you paid money for a taxi licence.
It's terrible.
Yeah, and I guess the people who paid money for a news agency, they experienced a few years ago when newspapers increasingly became less popular for the digital alternative. So, Nick, tell us about the book. Show it to the audience.
Thank you.
That's okay. So it's called Digital Disruption in Australia.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've taken 500 tech, media and telco deals in Australia over the last 4 years, and then look to see where there's clustering of transactions around disruptive themes like fintech and so forth. And so it's available on Amazon in hard copy or soft copy, and all proceeds go to Alzheimer's Australia. Okay,
and you're not selling it in good and bad bookstores as well?
No.
Funny, that digital disruptor. Thanks for joining us, Nick.
Thanks very much, mate.